Good afternoon. Today we are going to talk about the basic concepts and first law of thermodynamics. This unit gives a brief introductions about the various concepts of thermodynamics, terms associated with the basics law of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the science of the relationship between heat, work, temperature, and energy. In broad terms, thermodynamics deals with the transfer of energy from one place to another and from one form to another. In general, the systems are free to exchange heat, work, and other forms of energy with their surroundings. The key concept is that heat is a form of energy corresponding to a definite amount of mechanical work. Next, what is thermodynamics? The science of energy that concerned with the ways in which energy is stored within a body. Energy transformation that is mostly involved heat and work movements. The fundamental law is the conservation of energy principle. Energy cannot be created or destroyed but can only be transformed from one form to another form. Next, microscopic approach of thermodynamics. Macroscopic thermodynamics. When a matter are considered as a continuous function of space variables, it is a classical approach of thermodynamics which requires simple mathematical for analyzing the system. Microscopic thermodynamics means all the atoms and molecules of the system are considered and the summation of all the atoms and molecules are used. It is statistical approach of thermodynamics. The next concept of continuum. The concept of continuum is a kind of idealization of a continuous description of matter where the properties of the matter are considered as continuous function of space variables. One of the factors considered important in determining the validity of a continuum model is molecular density. It is the distance between the molecules which is characterized by the mean of free path, a dimensionless parameter known as a Knudsen number. Next, the thermodynamic system surrounding and boundary. A region in space in which the investigation is going on, a small part of the universe to which we can apply the law of thermodynamics called thermodynamic system. Or the system is a macroscopically identifiable collection of matter on which we focus our attention. Thermodynamic system is analogous to free body diagram to which apply the law of mechanics, that is Newton's law of motion. Surroundings. The combination of matter and space external to the system that may be influenced by the changes in the system is called surroundings or environment. Boundary. The thermodynamic system and surroundings are separated by an envelope called boundary of the system. The boundary can be a real or imaginary and may change shape, volume, position, and orientation relative to the observer. It can be of two types. First one is adiabatic, then second one is diathermic. Adiabatic means boundary which does not allow heat transfer named as adiabatic. Boundary which allows heat transfer named as diathermic. Next, what are the different types of thermodynamic system? We have three types of system. First one is isolated system, then second one is closed system, then third one is open system. First type is isolated system. In either isolated system, no matter or energy cross system boundaries. No work can be done on the system. In the closed system, energy can be exchanged but matter cannot. Whereas the open system, free exchange across the boundaries. Open system. The system in which the transfer of mass as well as the energy can takes place across its boundary is called an open system. In this case, we provide fuel to the engine and it produces power which is given out. Thus, there is the exchange of mass as well as energy. The engine also emits heat which is exchanged with the surroundings. The other example of the open system is boiling water in an open vessel, where the transfer of heat as well as the mass in the form of steam takes place between the vessel and the surroundings. The next thing is closed system. The system in which the transfer of energy takes place across its boundary with the surrounding, but no transfer of mass takes place is called closed system. The closed system is a fixed mass system. The fluid like air or gas being compressed in the piston and cylinder arrangement is an example of the closed system. In this case, the mass of the gas remains constant, but it can get heated or cooled. Another example is the water being heated in the closed vessel, where the water is get heated, but its mass will remain the same. The third thing is isolated system. The system in which neither the transfer of mass nor that of energy takes place across its boundary with the surroundings is called an isolated system. For example, if the piston and the cylinder arrangement in which the fluid like air or gas is being compressed or expanded is insulated, it becomes isolated system. Here there will neither transfer of mass nor that of energy. Similarly, hot water, coffee or tea kept in the thermoflask is an example, best example of closed system. However, if we pour this fluid in a cup, it becomes an open system. Next, the next topic we are going to discuss is the properties of the thermodynamic system. Any measurable quantity that is used to describe the condition or state of thermodynamic system. Example, temperature, pressure, chemical composition, color, volume, energy, etc. The salient aspects of the thermodynamic properties are listed out below. Its differential is exact. It depends only on the state of the system. It has a definite unique value when the system is in particular state. Since thermodynamic property is the function of the state system, it is referred to as a point function or a state function. Then, what are the different types of thermodynamics property? There are actually four types of thermodynamic properties are there. First one is intensity. What is intensity property? The thermodynamic property whose value is independent of size or extent, that is mass of the system, means they are not dependent on the mass. Example, pressure, temperature, density, surface tension, composition, viscosity, thermal conductivity and electrical potential, etc. Extensive property, the thermodynamic property whose value depends on only mass or extent of the system. Best example is energy, enthalpy, entropy, volume, etc. Next, we are going to discuss reversible and irreversible process. What is reversible process? As the name implies, a thermodynamic process is reversible if the system passes through the continuous series of equilibrium states. Following conditions need to be satisfied for a process of reversible. First one is there should be a no friction, solid or fluid. Second thing is the heat exchange to or from the system, if any, should be only through infinitely small temperature difference. Third thing is the process should be a quasi-static. It should be processed at indefinitely slow speed. The fourth important point is all the states in thermodynamic equilibrium state. Fifth one is process can be run in any direction. Example of the reversible process is motion without friction, restricted and controlled expansion and compression. Next, irreversible process. If the thermodynamic system passes through a sequence of non-equilibrium states, it is called irreversible process. An irreversible process is identified by the following characteristics. It can be, first thing is, it can be carried out in one direction only. The second, it occurs at a finite rate. Third, it cannot be reversed without causing permanent changes in the surrounding. Fourth one is the system is never in equilibrium state at any instant during an irreversible process. Best example for reversible process is spontaneous chemical reaction, viscous flow, inelastic deformation and hysteresis effect. The next topic, heat, work and internal energy. The gas has internal energy as measured by its temperature. If the heat is added in the internal energy, it will be increases. If the gas expands or does work on the atmosphere, its internal energy decreases. Heat and work are forms of energy which can be changed the internal energy. The first law of thermodynamics keep the track of the balance between the heat, work and internal energy of the gases. Next topic, basic introduction of law of thermodynamics. We have a first law, the zeroth law of thermodynamics. when the two systems are each in thermal equilibrium with the third system, the first two systems are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This property makes it meaningful to use thermometers as the third system and to definite the temperature scale. The first law of thermodynamics or the law of conservation of energy, the change in a system's internal energy is equal to the difference between heat added to the system from its surroundings and work done by the system on its surroundings. Then, first law of thermodynamics. What is system? The part of the universe that is focus is called system. Surroundings. Everything in the universe that is not part of the system. So, universe is equal to the sum of the systems and surroundings. Whatever the energy system losses, it will be the surrounding gains or surrounding loss. Then turbine. A turbine is a rotary steady state steady flow machine which purpose is the production of shaft power at the expansion of the pressure of the working fluid. Two general classes of the turbine are steam and gas turbines depending upon the working substance used. Usually changes in potential energy are negligible as is the inlet kinetic energy. Often the exit kinetic energy is neglected within a if in a problem the flow velocities are specified, the kinetic energy term should be included. Next, compressor or pump. The purpose of compressor or pump is the same, to increase the pressure of the fluid by putting a shaft power or shaft work. There are two fundamentally different types of compressor. First type is rotary type, which has an either axial or centrifugal flow. Second thing is a piston cylinder type compressor. The first type is analyzed using control valve approach. The working fluid enters the compressor at low pressure and exits at high pressure. Usually, changes in potential energy are negligible as is the inlet kinetic energy. Often, exit kinetic energy is neglected as well as. Next, nozzle. A nozzle is a steady flow device to create a high velocity fluid stream at the expansion of its pressure. It is contoured in an appropriate manner to expand the fluid to a lower pressure. Since the objectivity of the device is to increase the flow velocity, hence the kinetic energy term cannot be ignored. Usually the process through the nozzle is treated as an adiabatic. Since there is a no moving parts, shaft work is here zero. The potential energy term is negligible and hence omitted. Then diffuser. A steady flow device mean to decelerate high velocity fluid, resulting in increase the pressure of the fluid. It is the opposite of a nozzle as far as the purpose is concerned. The assumption are similar to the for a nozzle also. Next, basic concepts of second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics, heat does not flow spontaneously from a colder region to hotter region, or equivalently, heat at a given temperature cannot be converted entirely into the work. Consequently, the entropy of a closed system or heat energy per unit temperature increases over a time toward some maximum value. Thus, all closed systems tend toward an equilibrium state in which entropy is at a maximum and no energy is available to do useful work. This asymmetry between the forward and backward process gives rise to what is known as the arrow of time. Then, Kelvin-Planck statement. There are two laws. First one is Kelvin-Planck statement. No heat engine can achieve a thermal efficiency 100%. As far as a power plant to operate, the working fluid must exchange heat with the environmental as well as the furnace. Then Clausius statement. Clausius statement of second law of thermodynamics is as below. It is impossible to construct a device as a heat pump that operates in a cycle and produces no effect other than the transfer of heat from lower temperature to a higher temperature body. The statement means that heat cannot flow from cold body to hot body without any work input. Then the thermal efficiency represent the magnitude of the energy wasted in order to complete the cycle. A measure of the performance that is called the thermal efficiency can be expressed in terms of desired output and the record input. For a heat engine, the desired result is the net work done and the input is the heat supply to make the cycle operate. Thermal efficiency is always less than 1 or less than 100%. Then the thermodynamic temperature scale related to the heat transfer between a reversible device and the high and low temperature reserves. QL divided by QH is equal to TL divided by TH. The heat engine that operates on the reversible Carnot cycle is called the Carnot heat engine, in which its efficiency is equal to 1 minus TL divided by TH. Heat pumps and refrigerators. A device that transfers the heat from a lower temperature medium to a higher temperature one is called heat pump. The refrigerator operates exactly like heat pump, except that the desired output is the amount of heat removed out of the system. The index of the performance of a heat pumps or refrigerator are expressed in terms of the coefficient of performance. And then the Carnot cycle. We have a 4 process. First one is reversible isothermal heat addition at high temperature. Then the 2 to 3 process is the reversible adiabatic expansion from high temperature to lower temperature. Then 3 to 4th one is reversible isothermal heat rejection at low temperature. 4 to 1 is reversible adiabatic compression from low temperature to higher temperature. Then the thermal efficiency of the actual and reversible heat engines operating between the same temperature limits compares as follows. The coefficients of performance of actual and reversible refrigerators operating between the same temperature limits compares as the above. Then the topic we are going to discuss is entropy. The second law states that processes occur in a certain direction, not in any direction. It often leads to the definition of a new property called entropy, which is a quantitative measure of disorder for a system. Entropy can also be explained as a measure of the unavailability of heat to perform work in a cycle. This relates to the second law, since the second law predicts that not all heat provided to a cycle can be transformed into an equal amount of work. Some heat rejection must take place. The entropy change during the reversible process is defined as ds is equal to dq net divided by temperature. For a reversible adiabatic process, ds is equal to 0. That means S2 is equal to S1. The reversible adiabatic process is also called as isentropic process. Then the entropy change and the isentropic relation for the process can be summarized as, for a pure substances, any process del S is equal to S2 minus S1. For isentropic process, S2 is equal to S1. The second case is incompressible. For an incompressible substances, whatever the fluids, liquid or solid, any process, for any process, S2 minus S1 is equal to C into T2 divided by T1. For isentropic process, the temperature T1 is equal to T2. Then, what is pure substances? The substance that has a fixed chemical composition throughout is called pure substances. A pure substances does not have to be of single chemical element or compound. However, a mixture of various chemical elements or compounds also qualifies as a pure substances as long as the mixture is homogeneous. A mixture of liquid and water vapor is a pure substances, but a mixture of liquid and gases air is not. For example, water, mixture of liquid and water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, mixture of gases such as air, as long as there is no change of phases. Phases of a pure substances. The substances exist in different phases. Example, at room temperature and pressure, copper is solid and mercury is a liquid. It can exist in different phases under variations of condition. There are three principal phases: One is solid, second one is liquid, and then third one is gas. Each with different molecular structures. Phase changes process of pure substance. There are many practical situations which have two phases of pure substances coexist in equilibrium. Example: water exists as a mixture of liquid and vapor in the boiler and etc. For a solid, the strong intermolecular bond. For liquid, it has intermediate intermolecular bonds. For gases, it has a weak intermolecular bond. This constant pressure heating process can be illustrated as a separate diagram. Next, saturation. Saturation is defined as the condition in which a mixture of vapor and liquid can exist together at a temperature and pressure. What is a saturation pressure? Is the saturation pressure is the pressure at which the liquid and vapor phases are in equilibrium at the given temperature. For a pure substance, there is a definite relationship between saturation pressure and saturation temperature. The higher the pressure, the higher the saturation temperature. Then, latent heat. The amount of energy absorbed or released during a phase change process is called latent heat. Latent heat of fusion. The amount of energy absorbed during the melting. It is equivalent to the amount of energy released during the freezing. Next, what is latent heat of vaporization? The amount of energy absorbed during the vaporization and it is equivalent to the energy released during the condensation. Quality. When a substance exists as a part liquid or part vapor at saturation conditions, its quality is defined as the ratio of mass of the vapor to the total mass of both vapor and liquid. The quality is 0 for a saturated liquid and 1 for the saturated vapor. It between the 0 to 1. For example, if the mass of the vapor is 0.2 gram and mass of the liquid is 0.8 gram, then the quality is 0.2 or 20%. Then moisture content. The moisture content of a substance is the opposite of its quality. Moisture is defined as the ratio of mass of the fluid liquid to the total mass of the both liquid and vapor. Moisture content. Take a specific volume as an example. The specific volume of the saturated mixture becomes V is equal to 1 minus x into Vf plus x into Vg. The form that is most often used is equal to V is equal to Vf plus x into Vg minus Vf. Let Y be the extensive property and Y be the corresponding intensive property, means Y is equal to capital Y divided by M is equal to Yf plus x into Yg minus Yf. Then property table. For example, if the pressure and specific volume are specified, 3 questions are asked for a given pressure. Property table. If the answer to the first question is yes, the state is in the compressed liquid region and the compressed liquid table is used to find out the properties. If the answer to the second question is yes, the state is in saturation region and either the saturation temperature table or the saturation pressure table is. If the answer to the third question is yes, the state is in the superheated region and the superheated table is used. Then the following are the important definitions. First one is critical point. The temperature and the pressure above which there is no distinction between the liquid and vapor phases. Then the second thing is triple point. The temperature and the pressure at which all the phases can exist in equilibrium. Sublimation. Change of phase from solid to vapor is called sublimation. Next, vaporization. Change of phase from liquid to vapor is vaporization. Condensation. Change of phase from vapor to liquid is called condensation. Fusion or melting. Change of phase from solid to liquid is called fusion. Ideal gas law. Robert Boyle formulates a well-known law that states that pressure of a gas expanding at constant temperature varies inversely to the volume. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to constant. As a result of experimentation, Charles concluded that the pressure of a gas varies directly with the temperature when the volume is held constant, and the volume varies directly with the temperature when the pressure is held constant, or V1 divided by V2 is equal to T1 divided by T2. By combining the result of Charles and Boyle's experiment, the following results can be obtained. PV divided by T is equal to constant. The constant in the above equation is the ideal gas constant and is designated by R, thus the ideal gas equation, because PV is equal to RT. In order to make the equation applicable to all ideal gases, a universal gas constant R suffix U is introduced. R is equal to Ru divided by M, molecular weight. For example, if the ideal gas constant is for air is equal to air is equal to Ru air divided by molecular weight of the air. The amount of energy needed to raise the temperature of a unit of mass of a substance by 1 degree is called specific heat at constant volume Cv for constant volume process and specific heat at constant pressure Cp for a constant pressure process. They can be defined by the following. Using the definition of enthalpy H is equal to U plus PV and writing the differential of the enthalpy, the relationship between the specific heats for an ideal gas H is equal to U plus PV. When we differentiate the equation, we can get that dH is equal to du plus RT. The specific heat ratio K is defined as the K is equal to Cp divided by Cv. For ideal gases, U, H, Cv and Cp are the function of the temperature alone. Then the del U and del H of ideal gas can be expressed as equal to del U is equal to U2 minus U1 is equal to Cv into T2 minus T1. Similarly, the del H is equal to H2 minus H1 is equal to Cp into T2 minus T1. Then, the Carnot cycle was introduced as the most efficient heat engine that operate between two fixed temperature Th and Tl. Th means higher temperature, Tl means lower temperature. The thermal efficiency of the Carnot cycle is eta thermal Carnot is equal to 1 minus Tl divided by Th. Upon the derivation, the performance of a real cycle is often measured in terms of its thermal efficiency. Thermal efficiency eta thermal is equal to W naught divided by Q supply. The ideal gas equation is defined as the PV is equal to RT or PV is equal to MRT, where the P is equal to pressure, V is equal to specific volume, R is equal to ideal gas constant, M is equal to mass, T is equal to temperature in Kelvin. Thermodynamic process. We have 5 processes. First one is isochoric process, is otherwise known as constant volume process. Then isobaric process, constant pressure process. Then third one is isothermal, constant temperature process. Fourth one is polytropic process. Fifth one is isentropic process, otherwise known as constant entropy process. Air standard assumption. Air continuously circulates in a closed loop, always behaves as an ideal gas. All the processes that make up the cycle are internally reversible. The combustion process is replaced by a heat addition process from an external source. A heat rejection process that restores the working fluid to its initial state replaces the exhaust process. The cold air standard assumptions apply when the working fluid is air and has constant specific heat evaluated at room temperature, that is 25 degrees Celsius. No chemical reaction takes place in the engine. Top dead center, bottom dead center, stroke, bore, intake valve, exhaust valve, clearance volume, displacement volume, compression ratio and mean effective pressures are the important terminology of the reciprocating devices. The compression ratio R of an engine is defined as the R is equal to Vmax divided by Vp. The mean effective pressure MEP is a fictitious pressure that if it operated on the piston during the entire power stroke would produce the same amount of net work as that produced during the actual cycle. The process in the Otto cycles are first 1 to 2 process is isentropic compression, 2 to 3 is constant volume heat addition, 3 to 4 isentropic expansion, 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. The thermal efficiency of the Otto cycles are eta thermal is equal to W naught divided by QE. Work net is always equal to Q net. So Q in minus Q out divided by Q1. So finally eta thermal is equal to 1 minus Q out divided by Q in. Apply the first law closed system to process 2 to 3. B is equal to constant. So Q naught minus Q W naught is equal to del U. Thus, for a constant specific heat, Q nut is equal to W nut. Then apply the first law closed system to process 4 to 1. B is equal to constant. Q net 4 to 1 minus W net 4 to 1 is equal to net U del U 4 to 1. Thus, for a constant specific heat, Q net 41 is equal to del U 41. The thermal efficiency becomes eta thermal is equal to 1 minus Q out divided by Q1. The recall the process 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are the isentropic process. So, volume V3 is equal to V2 and V4 is equal to V1. So, the final Otto cycle efficiency becomes 1 minus T1 divided by T2. Then the diesel cycle. We have a 4 process for the diesel cycle. First 1 to 2 is an isentropic compression, 2 to 3 is a constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 is an isentropic expansion, 4 to 1 is a constant volume heat rejection. Where the compression ratio is the V is equal to V1 divided by V2, it is denoted by the letter R. At the same time, we have a cutoff ratio RC is equal to V3 divided by V2. These are all the important terms related to the diesel cycle. Okay, thank you.